Hello and welcome to the Luv Doc podcast with hosts Waldo Wachewski and Ophelia Bruschi.
I want you to just picture something for a second. That very specific, very fragile feeling at a dinner party. It's Saturday night, the wine's good, conversation is just flowing, it has a rhythm, and then screech.
The music stops.
Exactly. The record scratches. And it's because of one person. And they didn't even spill a drink or anything. They do something way worse.
The correction.
The correction.
Yeah.
A tiny, technical, completely irrelevant correction. And just like that, all the air goes out of the room. We all know this person, the social fact checker.
It's a universal archetype, isn't it? And it's one we all dread. It's that moment when the need to be right just completely steamrolls the desire to, connect with people.
Well, today we are unpacking a fascinating case study of this exact dynamic.
Okay.
We've got a letter sent to the Luv Doc.
And this was published really recently, February 13, 2026.
And this is not just a story about someone being annoying at a dinner table.
No, it's much, much more layered. We're going to get into the interpersonal conflict, sure. But it's also about how a specific object, a very polarizing vehicle, can become a flashpoint for social friction.
We're talking road rage, a husband trying to save the vibe, and this massive debate about truth versus etiquette.
And the Luv Doc's response, it's less of an advice column and more of a philosophical manifesto. It is a journey.
It is. Okay, let's start with the crime scene. The letter writer sets it up for us. It's a once-a-month dinner club. What does that tell you right off the bat?
Well, context is everything. He says it's usually about 10 people. He uses words like low-key and fun. So in social psychology terms, this is a high-safety environment.
These people know each other. They're not there to debate.
Exactly. They're there to decompress. The social contract is about relaxing and bonding.
Until the newcomer arrives. This is Sally, a friend of the writer's wife. She's divorced, and she brings her new boyfriend. And the group is, they've met him before. The assessment is already in. The letter writer says, and I'm quoting here, everyone likes him okay, but he's definitely one of those guys who has to be right about everything.
Likes him okay. That phrase is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
The polite damnation, right.
It is. It implies a ceiling on their affection. They're managing him, not really enjoying him. He's already been flagged as a potential disruptor.
Right. So on this specific night, Sally is telling a story. And it's a good one. It's dramatic. She got cut off in traffic by his Cybertruck.
Ah, the Cybertruck.
The driver slams on the brakes, shoots the finger out the window. Sally's not even sure if it was for her or the car in front of the truck. It's chaotic, it's relatable, everyone's hooked.
And notice what the story is about. It's about the emotion of it all, the shock, the anger, the confusion. That's the truth she's sharing.
A feeling. She's sharing a feeling. But then the boyfriend activates. He interrupts her mid-sentence. And I have to quote this exactly because it is just so painful. He stops her and says, "It wasn't a black Cybertruck. It was dark metallic blue."
And there it is, the fatal error.
It is so petty. But why does that feel so aggressive? Why does a correction about paint derail a whole party?
It's what we call the relevance maxim in communication theory. Basically, when we talk, we agree to provide information that's relevant to the goal of the conversation.
And the goal here is just entertainment.
Entertainment, emotional connection. The specific hex code of the paint does not change the story. A black truck flipping you off, a blue truck flipping you off.
It's the same story.
It's the same story. So by interrupting, he's signaling that his knowledge of car specs is more important than her experience. It's what some people call conversational narcissism.
And it works in the worst way. The letter says Sally and the boyfriend start arguing. It was black. No, it was glue. The Vida's dead.
Totally gone.
So our letter writer, the husband, he decides to intervene. He tries to cut the tension.
Okay, what's the move?
He asks the boyfriend a direct question. How is the color of the Cybertruck important to this story?
Ooh, I love that. It's a surgical strike. It's meta-commentary.
And the room's reaction, the source says, everyone laughed.
Which confirms the group consensus, right? That laughter is a release valve, but it's also a form of social policing. It says, we're with the husband on this one.
But the boyfriend, not laughing, obviously agitated, and his defense. This is the hill he dies on. He says, because facts matter.
Because facts matter. That's such a revealing defense. He's trying to claim the moral high ground,
Right, like he's the defender of truth.
Exactly. In his mind, truth is an absolute value that overrides etiquette. But he's missing the difference between objective truth, which is just data, and social truth, which is connection. By prioritizing the fact of the paint, he's destroying the truth of the gathering.
That's a great way to put it. Technically right, socially wrong. So the rest of the night is awkward. But here is where it gets really interesting. The next day, the wife calls Sally to apologize for her husband's comment.
A classic peacekeeping move, trying to smooth things over.
But Sally's response is very telling. She admits her boyfriend was being a controlling jerk.
Okay, so she knows. She sees it.
She knows,
Right.
but she also says the husband didn't need to say anything. So even though she knows her boyfriend was wrong, she thinks the husband was also wrong for pointing it out.
Wow.
So the husband is totally baffled. He asked the Luv Doc, did my behavior necessitate an apology?
It's the classic bystander dilemma. If you see someone being a buzzkill and you call them out, do you also become the buzzkill?
Holy crap! You're psychotically obsessed with the Luv Doc, but can't think of a flashy gauche way to share your obsession with the world? Stop thinking and make a beeline for the Luv Doc's home sweet home on the interwebs, thepleasurecraft.com, where you can find a veritable treasure trove of sick merch that will make even your coolest friends super gel. Honestly, I don't know why you didn't already think of this yourself, but you're welcome. Have fun on the Pleasure Craft. It was made just for you. Let me spell it out for you one more time. www.thepleasurecraft.com.
So let's get into the Luv Doc's diagnosis. Because, he doesn't just answer the question, he takes us on a scenic route first.
He really does. He starts with this very stream of consciousness riff on, of all things, inflation.
He talks about the old saying, a penny for your thoughts. And he argues that, due to inflation, it should now cost a nickel.
Which seems like a total non sequitur, but he's actually setting up a framework about the value of different thoughts. And he pivots this right into the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Okay, let's unpack that. We hear Dunning-Kruger thrown around a lot. For anyone who might not be 100% clear on it, what is it really?
Sure. It's a cognitive bias. It basically says that people with low ability at a task tend to overestimate their ability. The core reason is, if you're incompetent at something, you lack the very skills you need to realize you're incompetent.
So your own ignorance gives you confidence.
Exactly. You don't know enough to know that you don't know. And the Luv Doc connects this directly to the boyfriend. He says, genius thoughts are worth more, but people who think they're geniuses usually aren't.
He gives this great Einstein test for spotting a fake genius. Someone who has a, quote, vague notion of the theory of relativity, but absolutely no clue of how to explain the actual equation.
He's painting a portrait of the boyfriend as a pseudo-intellectual, someone who thinks knowing the paint color is a sign of superior intelligence when really it's just trivia. True intelligence would be reading the room, not the car manual.
So using this whole value of thoughts idea, what's the final verdict? Does the husband need to apologize?
The doc is very clear, no foul.
He calls the husband's comment a public service.
I love that. He does acknowledge that the husband's comment might have been a bit dickish. He even says there might have been a wisp of ill intent.
He enjoyed the call out a little too much, maybe?
Maybe a little, but he argues it was humorously justified because he was just voicing what everyone else was thinking. And he points to the group's laughter as the proof. He calls it the second best medicine, referencing Reader's Digest for first.
So the Luv Doc basically validates the group's social instinct. The laughter wasn't just mean, it was a collective signal that the boyfriend had broken the rules.
And the husband was the catalyst for that repair.
So case closed on etiquette. But we have to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Or the douche canoe in the room.
Yes. The Luv Doc's response takes a sharp turn into highly charged political and cultural criticism about the Cybertruck itself.
It is intense. The doc says the boyfriend's obsession with the color is pointless because, in his opinion, there's only one color of Cybertruck. And he labels that color douche.
He then uses the term douche canoe to describe the vehicle. What we're seeing is how a consumer product has become a proxy for a culture war. The fight wasn't just about paint, it was about what that truck represents.
And the Luv Doc does not hold back on the manufacturer. The Luv Doc doesn't name the CEO, but the references are not subtle. He calls the creator a moon-faced baby daddy.
And the accusations get much more serious. The Luv Doc claims this figure spent nearly $300 million to get an Epstein Island hot tub buddy elected.
Which is a massive, loaded statement.
It is. And he keeps going, accusing this person of over-microdosing ketamine and, quote, throwing up some obvious sieg-heils.
Whoa, okay. So wherever you stand politically, the Luv Doc is painting a picture of an incredibly toxic, fake genius. And the Luv Doc connects this directly to anyone who drives the car.
Exactly. He gives the sarcastic apology to the tech bros who just like the gadget. He says, My most sincere apologies to any pure of heart, expensive, gadget-loving tech bros out there feeling persecuted.
But he doesn't actually mean it.
No. His argument is that you can't separate the truck from the CEO.
Yeah.
He says it might not be their fault, the creator is so controversial, but the reality is, quote, nobody sees you, they just see your douche canoe.
So what does all this mean for our dinner party? Why does this matter to an argument about paint color?
It adds this huge layer of subtext. Think about it. Sally's telling a story about a Cybertruck driver acting aggressively, road rage, the finger. This fits perfectly with the Luv Doc's perception of the brand.
The story confirms the bias.
It confirms the bias, and then the boyfriend steps in to defend the accuracy of the truck's description.
Right.
By obsessing over dark metallic blue versus black, he is, in a way, aligning himself with the machine. He's showing a level of care for this object that everyone else in the room probably despises.
Oh, that is fascinating. So it's not just facts versus fun, it's defending the Cybertruck versus mocking the Cybertruck.
Potentially, yes. When the husband asks, how is the color important? He's not just dismissing a fact, he's dismissing the car. He's saying, this thing is a villain in our story, who cares what shade of villain it is? And the boyfriend, by insisting on the fact, is demanding respect for the object.
It really shows how hard it is to have a neutral conversation about certain things now. You can't just talk about a car. You're talking about politics, CEOs, all of it.
It's the saturation of meaning. The Cybertruck has become a signifier. It carries all this baggage. The boyfriend thought he was just correcting a color, but to the group and to the Luv Doc, he was engaging in a form of cultural defense.
And the Luv Doc's advice is basically, don't be that guy. Don't be the guy who defends the douche canoe over your friends.
Precisely. The social fact checker fails because they misread the room. They think they're adding value by adding accuracy, but in a social setting, value comes from connection and flow. Accuracy can be a tax on those things.
I love that idea that facts matter can be a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
He felt attacked, so he used facts to try and regain control.
Control is the key word. Sally even called him a controlling jerk. The insistence on the color is a way to exert dominance. It says, I know more than you. I am monitoring your reality. That's aggressive, even if it's disguised as being helpful.
And the husband's joke broke that control. That's why he was so mad.
He lost the frame. The husband reframed the interaction from a lecture on cars back to a funny story. He gave the power back to the group. That's why the doc calls it a public service.
Social medicine.
Exactly.
So as we wrap this up, I think we need to synthesize what we've learned.
Yeah.
We started with a simple etiquette question, and we ended up in a cultural minefield.
We did. The takeaway for me is twofold. First, on the interpersonal level. Just read the room. If someone's telling a story, let them tell it. Unless the error changes the whole meaning of the story, let it slide.
Amen to that. Accuracy is not intimacy. I should get that on a t-shirt.
And second, on the cultural level, just be aware of the loaded objects in our lives. Brands and products are hyper-politicized. If you bring them up or defend them, you have to be prepared for the strong reactions that will come with that.
It's just about awareness. Awareness of people and awareness of the context we all live in.
Absolutely.
I want to leave you with a thought to mull over. We've talked a lot about the boyfriend saying facts matter. But ask yourself this. When someone insists on facts in a casual setting, are they actually caring about the truth? Or are they just using truth as a weapon to signal dominance? Is it a tool for understanding or just a way to say, I'm smarter than you?
And at what point does a consumer product like a car become so loaded with meaning that neutral conversation becomes impossible? Can we ever just see a dark metallic blue truck again, or will we always see the douche canoe?
Something to think about the next time you're stuck in traffic. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
To read the column that spawned this podcast, go to austinchronicle.com/columns/the Luv Doc. There are probably worse things to do with your time, right?